sure you guys know about the elderly woman that was found.
Oh my God, that was horrifying. That was horrifying.
Kevin, do you know anything about it?
No.
Launcher Police.
Yes, this is Howard Leisure. My aunt lives on Portage Street, and a friend of ours stopped over there yesterday to check on her, and she was nowhere to be
A
found.
98-year-old woman died after she was reported missing yesterday. Police said she was found in a hidden location in her house.
And I believe that he planned to kill numerous people and use my aunt as a warm-up, so to speak, for those other killings.
Why did I lie about anything? That was stupid.
This is Gavin Ramsey, a 17-year-old who has been brought in for interrogation following his apprehension for the murder of 98-year-old Margaret Douglas. What the detectives didn't know at the time was that they were sitting face-to-face with a deeply disturbed individual who harbored morbid fantasies about killing innocent people. Margaret Mary Frick Douglas, born on September 15, 1919 in Akron, Ohio, was the second oldest among 4 siblings. Known for her generosity and independence, Margaret lived a fulfilling life. After World War II, she married her soulmate, Donald Douglas, and together they settled in Wadsworth, Ohio. Choosing not to have children of their own, they found solace in the small, secure suburban town with its close-knit community. Surrounded by loved ones, including family and friendly neighbors, Margaret led a self-reliant life. Even after Donald's passing, she remained independent well into her elderly years. Her unwavering determination made her proud of her 98-year-old self, eagerly anticipating her upcoming 100th birthday. Tragically, Margaret's dreams were shattered by a horrific and savage murder, plunging the once safe town into a profound state of shock.
Launcher Police.
Yes, this is Howard Leisure. My aunt lives on Portage Street,
Okay.
and a friend of ours stopped over there yesterday to check on her, and she was nowhere to be found. We didn't know if you found anybody wandering.
No, we don't have any reports of anybody wandering.
We can't find her in the house anywhere. He went in the house and looked through the whole house, couldn't find her.
Did she live there by herself?
She lives there by herself, yeah.
What's her name?
Margaret Douglas.
Police in Medina County have a mystery on their hands. They're trying to figure out how a 98-year-old woman died after she was reported missing yesterday. Police said she was found in a hidden location in her house.
Wadsworth police say 98-year-old Margaret Douglas was reported missing by an out-of-town relative yesterday. Police searched her home but didn't find her and said there were no obvious signs of foul play. But then police said they went back to the house last night and found her body in a hidden location.
It's very heartbreaking. She's 98 years old. Who has any business taking her from this earth after that rich a life? It makes no sense, if that's what happened.
During the investigation of the crime scene, the officers made several distressing discoveries. Margaret's nightgown had been unbuttoned, exposing her torn underwear. Her neck and face bore visible marks, indicating sexual assault and strangulation by bare hands. Initially, the police faced challenges in identifying a prime suspect, as most leads led to dead ends. However, their attention was piqued when they received multiple complaints about petty crimes occurring near Margaret's residence. One particular incident stood out. A man named Paul had engaged in conversation with a young man on the dating app Grindr. They decided to meet, hoping to get acquainted. However, during the encounter, the young man grew suddenly enraged, pushing Paul out of the car and absconding with his belongings. The only known detail about the suspect at that time was his distinctive blue eyes. A few days later, the police received reports of 2 young men causing disturbances in parking lots. They were later found breaking into a construction site, and in the process, one of them inadvertently lost his cell phone. The phone belonged to a teenager named Zach, who was subsequently identified and questioned. Zach claimed that he had been coerced into the thefts by his partner in crime, Gavin Ramsey, a 17-year-old with blue eyes and a history of petty crimes in the local area. Gavin Ramsey, accompanied by his mother, was brought in for interrogation. The interrogation process was analyzed by a forensic psychiatry doctor at the University of Rosenberg in Germany. Based on the details of the crime and subsequent investigations, it became evident that Gavin exhibited characteristics of psychopathy in the field of forensic psychology. Psychopathy is marked by persistent antisocial behavior, impulsivity, selfishness, callousness, lack of emotional empathy, and a lack of remorse. In Gavin's case, his strong psychopathic tendencies were intertwined with sadism and sexual perversions, including necrophilia, as revealed in later videos.
You just want to tell us what you guys were doing and what was happening that night? You're 17, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we snuck out. Well, I snuck out. He's 18. So we were just walking around. He didn't even drive. Like, we just walked.
Oh, he walked from his house in Euclid?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez.
And then we met up at Unveiling, and we weren't really doing anything. Then we went over to the church and climbed on top. And then we went, like, into the courtyard, but that's all we did.
Now, you did more. Unfortunately, you guys have left behind some very telling items, okay? If we're going to get to the bottom of this, let's just make it the truth all at once and deal with it and get it done.
You're 17.
Yeah. You're a kid, so you're not looking at as much trouble as
And I'm sponge in the future.
traded. Yeah.
Turn 18 is over.
Gavin, we've had some really serious things happen in your neighborhood and in that area, okay? We had a carjacking,
Oh my God.
and the suspect is a young white male with a nice complexion and blue eyes. Is that you?
No, it's not me. I wouldn't know the first thing about jacking a car.
Well, it's a little more to the story, but, you know, you didn't take anybody's car? Have you ever used an app called Grindr?
No,
How do you feel about gay people?
I'm not gay.
Oh, that's okay, but they don't bother you?
No, nobody bothers me.
Okay. I'm, you know, some of the victims of these crimes are gay, and I didn't know if it was
A hate crime kind of thing.
right. You're being victimized only because of their sexual orientation. So we're here, so I'm just going to ask them.
Right. Oh,
it's going to be straightforward, you know. There's no reason for me to fluff anything up.
Nope.
And I'm sure you guys know about the elderly woman that was found.
Oh my God, that was horrifying. That was horrifying. It is horrifying.
Did you know her at all?
No, other than just to see her out, like on a porch, that actually makes me want to cry. Like, how do you get to be 98 years old? Nobody lives to be 98. It's so rare. And someone else thought that that was okay. Like, how does that, I don't know. Like, why does your life end like that?
Kevin, do you know anything about it?
No, honestly, probably 5 or 6 people.
That you talked to? Is that what you're saying? Is there something else you need to tell us? What's upsetting you so much?
No.
I've been doing this for a little while, and I have a whole gaggle of children of my own, ranging from the age of 26 all the way down to 10, so I'm pretty good with this stuff.
The investigator in this case is emphasizing her maternal role, even going so far as to disclose details about her personal life. While it is uncommon for police investigators to share personal information with suspects due to security concerns, in this instance, the investigator is employing this strategy to establish trust with the individual under suspicion. By doing so, she hopes to create an atmosphere conducive to further interrogation and potentially extract valuable information regarding the murder case.
I asked, did you get put in a bad situation? Did somebody put you in a bad situation?
No.
No?
Yeah, let's put it this way. Honesty is always what's best.
I'm not holding anything back. Like,
You've already gotten yourself in trouble, so.
I know, and I don't even. I don't know what to say.
Is there more? Because you know it
No,
always comes out.
It's not that there's anything more. It's what the fuck, dude.
What if I always told you kids, what happens in the dark comes out in the light? That's the way it works. You mess up, you get caught. You make bad choices, you're going to pay for it. So if there's something else, let's get it all out on the table so that we know what we're dealing with.
At this stage, Gavin's mother undergoes a noticeable shift in her demeanor, aligning herself with the police, which is a commonly observed response from adults when confronted with their children's misbehavior. However, unbeknownst to her, she remains unaware of the horrifying truth regarding her child's actions.
It's not anything else. I don't know, I'm mad at myself. I'm so mad at myself.
What are you so mad at yourself for?
I was 16, I already had a fucking felony and like 5 misdemeanors, and now I'm gonna be in more trouble. I have to go back to court, and I'm done with it. I'm so done with it.
Okay. That's fair enough.
Like, honestly, I don't even want to live at home anymore. I don't know, I'm not fucking normal. I need to live somewhere else. Like, I don't know, some halfway house or something, I honestly would not care.
Why would you want to live in a halfway house? What is so wrong about living at home?
No, but there's nothing that they do. It's me. Like, everything I'm putting them through, I'm costing them thousands of dollars. Constant heartbreak. I've honestly probably never made either of them proud. I don't do anything fucking good.
Stop cussing.
It's a word.
Well, it's disrespectful.
So you're upset with yourself?
Yeah, I hate myself. That's really it.
You know, the suspicious death of the elderly woman is right there too.
God, I know.
That's why I'm saying, you know, I can't imagine you doing something like that. Just interacting with you this little bit, I can't imagine that's in your wheelhouse.
No.
But, you know, if we would come to find out that you're not being honest about something that, you know, puts you back on the list of people to take a look at.
Right.
You know, so it's a serious situation, that's why I want to make sure.
Oh my God.
Generally, you know, detectives don't get involved in.
We knew when we saw that BCI because it was literally facing my office window and it was blinding in the house. And I was like, at first I was like, that looks like a trash truck, but that's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when that gets called, and you know, and then I get all scared. I'm like, oh my God, I have all my porch lights on now at night. I have stranger danger issues.
Do you notice anything?
Honestly, can you two actually leave for a second?
What's that?
Can you two actually leave? So I can talk to her.
Yeah.
Is that okay with you?
Sure.
This marks a significant turning point in the conversation, as Gavin chooses to reveal the truth in his own words. It appears that the investigator's earlier tactics of assuming a motherly role, demonstrating understanding and care, might finally yield results.
The carjacking, it was me, I'm gonna be honest about it, but the way that he explained it, that guy, that's not right.
It is possible to speculate that Gavin requested his mother and the other police officers to leave the room, possibly to gain more control over the situation. Given the investigator's display of maternal care towards him, Gavin decided to exploit this dynamic, which could explain why he continues to cry as part of his strategy.
That grinder thing, yeah, I have been on it. And this guy was like the first time that this happened. And I told him, like, I was 17 and everything. And I wasn't planning on doing anything with him. It's not my style. I was just, like, he's a 40-year-old man trying to get with a 17-year-old, so I was just gonna rob him. It's still messed up, but against what he's doing, I don't really think it is. And then the whole carjacking thing, I never even left Overlook. I literally, I got in, and he's like, what, should we go to the back seat? I'm like, yeah, sure. So he got out. I sit and locked the doors, and hopped in the driver's seat and just drove around, messed with him, and then I left.
So then you got out and left?
Yeah, I didn't damage the car. I didn't
When we knew it was there, when he finally walked somewhere to get a phone, and we knew there was something more to the story that he wasn't telling us.
Yeah, I didn't damage any of the stuff. I just,
Do you have his wallet?
no, that's because I kept asking. Like, I cracked the window of the car, like, 'cause he walked up, doors were locked, everything. I'm like, where's your wallet? And he's like, I don't have it. So then, I opened his glove box and all that. And I'm like, well, show me your pockets. And he's like, I don't have it, but can I have my phone? I'm like, no. And then I turned and he tried to grab the window and break it. And then I gassed it and he walked, and that's when he left overlook. And then I went up to where the dumpsters are, where that white van is? Yeah, and that's where I left the car, and I just went over. And then the only reason I knew what he was saying is because I heard sirens and stuff. I'm like, that guy's not just gonna leave. Like, why would you leave your car and phone and everything? And then I downloaded the 5.0 radio and I was listening, and he said the kid was trying to get a ride to Elm Street, and he came up to my car asking for a ride. Looked like he was in distress or something, and that's not what happened.
Why were you on that app?
Really, just for that reason, to find guys that are that low of people, I guess.
That want to get with kids?
Mm-hmm. It's karma, really. If you're gonna do that, then I'm gonna rob you.
And you told him how old?
I was 17.
You told him you were 17? What was his response to that?
He was okay. He was down to meet. So that's when I decided I was just gonna take his money and leave.
Did he touch you at all? Did you touch him at all?
No.
Now, where were you at in the car?
I got into the front seat, the front passenger, and then, whenever, I didn't even have the door really closed yet, my foot was still out, just precautions, I guess, I needed to run. And he was like, should you go in the back seat to do this? And I'm like, yeah. And then he got out, and I pulled my door closed after he shut his, and I locked it, and then he was locked out of the car.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's all of it.
You didn't hurt that old lady, did you?
No, and that's what I was pissed about earlier.
What were you pissed about?
Because there's actually people accusing me of killing the girl. And that's, I just said some dark stuff and everything. And, I don't know, people know, I'm a dark person, I guess, but, I'm not gonna go kill somebody.
In psychology, the term dark personality is frequently employed to describe individuals who exhibit psychopathic traits and a proclivity for manipulation.
It's not like that, but people are like, oh, you killed her, didn't you? I really feel like you did. I'm like, no, I didn't.
So people are saying it?
Yeah, and it's making me really mad. It really is.
Did you know her?
No, her neighbor, the old couple, I used to do yard work and stuff for him, and I think I tried to murder her one time, but she said she had nephews and grandsons that come over and do it for her.
Have you ever been in her house?
No, as far as I've been, it's on her front porch. I knocked on her door.
How long ago was that?
Oh, that was years. That was probably 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's no reason that we would find your DNA inside her house because we swabbed the hell out of that house.
You shouldn't.
I mean, if you've never been in there, then obviously we wouldn't. But, I mean, you name it. We swabbed it, we took it. I'm sure you know we were there all night.
Yeah.
And we don't have the results back, and we won't have them back for a while, but do you know anybody that would do something like that?
No, the only person I know that's probably crazy enough to do anything like that is Hugh. He works at Marie's, but I feel like he's more bark than he is bite.
Gavin is attempting to shift blame onto the other individual in order to divert attention away from himself.
Because like when I first got hired at Marie's, people were like, you know, I don't mess with you and everything. And I mean, that's the first thing that I did.
That his real name?
Yeah, Hugh Young, I'm pretty sure. And
Where does he live?
I don't even know. I found his Facebook the other day.
Does it say Hugh Young?
Well, it says Hugh D. Young, but in it looks way different because he got just like goatee, clean shaven. Now he looks like he's actually kind of crazy.
What do you think should happen to somebody that does that?
That kill someone?
Kills a 98-year-old woman.
I don't know. I think eye for an eye is the best way to go. That's how I look at things. Is eye for an eye.
And your DNA is already on file? I mean, if it makes you feel better, I will give them your name and let them know your DNA is on file, and they can rule you out. Okay, when we get a DNA profile. Would that help you?
I mean, what, for like the lady?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that doesn't bother me.
Well, I think it bothers you that people are accusing you of it.
Yeah, it does, but I don't know. Like, people are still gonna say it. It makes me mad because that many people have said it, but I haven't really heard it since, like, it was only the first couple of days since it happened, but I haven't. So, I mean, you can if you want, it doesn't really matter to me.
Well, I think if we get a profile that doesn't match up to anything we've submitted, that they run it through the computer system, and the computer system runs it against all of them that they've collected from people who've been in trouble in the past. So that's how it usually works. So it would probably get passed over anyway. So.
However, acting on a hunch, the detectives proceeded to confiscate Gavin's phone with the consent of his mother. Unfortunately for her, she remained oblivious to the disturbing transformation her son had undergone. On a secret app called Dark, protected by a passcode, Gavin had stored multiple videos that he had captured in the early morning hours of April 6, 2018, when he committed the atrocious crime. Gavin had broken into Margaret's house through a rear entrance and observed her as she slept on the couch. Sensing her awakening, he swiftly attacked, strangling her to death. He indulged in his sickening desires, using Margaret's lifeless body over the following hours. While Gavin's face remained obscured in these videos, glimpses of his gloved hand were visible. A grave error on his part was leaving behind a glove, which was discovered with Margaret's DNA on the exterior and his own on the interior. With the discovery of the glove, the police became convinced that they had identified the heartless perpetrator responsible for the murder of this innocent, elderly woman. They summoned Gavin to return for a second round of interrogation. However, upon his return, Gavin began to exhibit deeply unsettling behavior. Anticipating a potentially unfavorable outcome during this second interrogation, Gavin resorted to employing more extreme tactics in his defense. He sought to amplify the display of mental anguish, lying on the floor and portraying himself as someone enduring immense suffering.
You sure I can't get you a drink? I know telling me about it doesn't give you much relief.
Just to the fact that it ruined my life.
Gavin's defensive reaction, characterized by crying and falling to the floor upon being brought into the interrogation without prior knowledge of the reasons, conveys a significant message. It strongly suggests that he had anticipated the situation and was aware of what was about to unfold, thereby indicating his culpability in the abhorrent crime.
Did you go to school the next morning after this?
I don't think we were even back in school.
Oh, it was during spring break, you're right.
I think so.
And you didn't take anything from the house? Like I said before, it doesn't make a difference either way.
I mean, what other crime could I commit that would really matter at this point?
No, the family just specifically asked me about the wallet, so that's the only reason I'm asking about that, okay?
So we're comfortable laying down then? Do you want to take these off for a bit? That's up to you guys. You want?
I don't mind, I'm not worried about
A
you.
little bit more comfortable, you know what I'm saying? Can we get some of them off of us?
Kevin, what happened to Margaret's underwear?
Her.
Alright?
There was a bit of an altercation. Like, she wasn't up whatever she was going through.
So did you kind of wrestle with her then?
A little bit. Like, off the couch.
On the floor? And her underwear got torn then?
Yeah, I got ripped.
Gavin asserts that Margaret's underwear was torn during an altercation, but this claim is a fabrication. The truth is that he tore her underwear while sexually assaulting the defenseless woman. This fact was substantiated by the condition of the body upon its discovery and the presence of a disturbing app on his phone that recorded his reprehensible actions.
So when she died, was she on the couch or on the floor?
Floor.
Were you on top of her then?
Kind of.
Like straddling her?
Yeah.
And did you use one hand or both?
Both.
Did you squeeze it or push her against the floor or both?
Both.
And you said you don't remember if she was bleeding at that point.
Well, I mean, the only reason I can think of bleeding is when I put my hand over her mouth.
So you were when you were holding her hand over her mouth, you might have pushed too hard and maybe made a nosebleed.
Yeah.
Recognizing Gavin's increasing willingness to discuss his crime, the second investigator made a strategic decision to change his body position, shifting from an upright chair to the floor, mirroring Gavin's posture. By adopting this approach, the investigator aimed to establish a rapport and encourage further conversation. It should be noted that the primary investigator had been employing this tactic since the outset of the interrogation.
So were you in her house for a little while before you woke her up?
I mean, I came up onto the porch, and I didn't even know what I was gonna do. And I looked in the window and everything. I don't know, I felt like going into a house is like the biggest adrenaline rush I could get. So, and I tried the doorknob and that just happened to be unlocked.
Was it the front door or back door?
Back door.
So you went into the kitchen?
Was like the TV on or something? When you went in? I don't think so. Ended up at the house, she didn't hear you or something, I guess. Well, she was already asleep whenever I went in, because when I came around the corner, that's when I saw her, and it scared me. Because I didn't expect to see someone right there, so I didn't hear anything. So I came in, I opened the door, I just listened. I didn't hear anything, so maybe nobody's home. And then I go to walk around that corner, and I'm still going slow, but I see her, and she's, I don't know, sleeping or something. And then I go to turn around and hit the chair, and it made a noise, and she woke up.
And she started to scream at that point, you said?
Yeah, because when I hit the chair, I turned back around, and I looked, and she was there staring at me and started to yell. And then went for the phone. She already knew what it looked like. We were trying to get like that when she went for the phone, that when you were trying to get the phone away from her so she couldn't call. Did you not get out of the way, or is that what you guys fight with the phone?
It was like a little bit of a fight. I think I threw it under the couch. I'm not really sure.
You guys ended up on the floor at that point?
Yeah, I don't even know where the phone went.
You said you guys were on the floor, like her gown was on the floor.
Yeah, because she was still.
What happened to her underwear, I guess?
I don't even know if she was wearing underwear.
Okay.
Because when she was on the couch, like she grabbed the phone and everything. It was still like yelling, and I don't know if she dialed anything yet or not. But I just didn't know what to do, and then that happened. By the time I even realized what I was doing, it was too late to stop anything.
And when you realized that's when you were on the floor on top of her with your hands on her. And stuff. That's when
Gavin asserts that Margaret was awakened from her slumber by the noise he created when he accidentally struck a chair. However, in reality, this statement is false. Gavin, however, is confident that the detectives will believe his lie. Yet he is about to discover that the detectives have a different perspective on the matter.
Yeah, there's a couple of videos of you kind of peeking over the edge of the couch and videotaping her. Well, when was that all done?
That was all the same night. Why did I lie about anything? That was stupid.
okay. Oh, you went in the house earlier?
No, like I never went to the house before, but like I went in and I was being quiet and everything. And like how it happened, like I wasn't lying about that, but I did, you know, like I turned the corner and did see her.
And you hid?
Yeah, then I hid and I was taking my phone. I was taking pictures to see if she was awake.
I got you.
And
then she saw you?
We stood up and she saw me.
Did your flash go off on your phone?
I don't think so.
So from there, is that did you tell us the truth about the rest of that? So how long do you think you were in the house before you woke her up?
I don't know, probably like 10, 15 minutes.
And then from the time you woke her up to the time you ended up on top of her, choking her, how long did that whole part take?
That was probably like 5 minutes.
So pretty quick. She tries to get the phone, you try and stop her. You guys struggle to the floor and you end up on top of her with your hands on her neck. And you're pushing and squeezing. You have your hand over her mouth at the same time?
Well, my hand on the mouth was on the couch.
Okay.
And then, I don't know, bowled or something off the couch.
Was she like fighting back with you then, trying to struggle, and then you guys went down?
Yeah. I think on her way down is when we got ripped.
But you don't remember ripping her pants? How long did you stay there before you put her in the car?
That was probably like 30 minutes. I just kind of sat there and I didn't know like what was going on. Like I was so in shock from it, I guess. And then I checked my phone and it said it was like 4 something. And I knew my mom had to get up at 5.
Instantly, Gavin experiences regret for deceiving the police, leading one to assume that he would refrain from doing so in the future. However, when pressed by the detective about the duration of his presence in the house, he falsely asserts that it was merely 30 minutes. This claim is contradicted by the timestamps on the videos found on his phone, which clearly indicate that he was inside the house for several hours. Once again, this inconsistency serves as further evidence of his dishonesty.
Was there any adrenaline with that? No.
It was like adrenaline and shock at the same time. So like, 1 second I'm like, I don't know, adrenaline.
Like, and the next thing you know, it's like
It's
with overload.
I don't know what's happened.
Yeah.
So what did you do with your gloves when you left?
He was away.
Where at?
In the trash can.
At home. Because there's a glove there. Could you have dropped one?
There was a glove there. I guess I did drop one.
There was purple stuff on it. What was the purple stuff that was on it? I get it that there's a whole piece of this that you don't understand why you do. Okay? I understand the whole sexual piece that you don't understand. And I get that. Did the purple stuff have to do with the whole sexual piece that you don't understand why you do? No. Is that the same time that you were taking some of those pictures?
Yeah, and after I took those pictures, I was like, what?
That's when the shock set in?
Yeah, it's like, what am I doing?
So it was adrenaline all the way up until then. And then the whole shock took over the overload. Is that right?
It sounds right now.
I know. It's hard.
Although it is acknowledged that Gavin may have faced challenging circumstances from an early age, it is important to note that such experiences do not justify his actions. However, it appears that Gavin held the belief that attributing his behavior to an adrenaline rush and highlighting his struggles with mental health could potentially assist him in evading or minimizing the consequences of his actions.
She may have asked this, but did you mean to hurt Margaret like that?
No. No.
Or was it just the shock? The shock.
You said you started doing it, and by the time you realized that she had died, it was too late.
What else did I do?
Is that why you punched the wall at the school? Was that main frustration? How did that chunk out of your hand? You don't say it hurts.
Sorry, I think I broke my hand or my pinky. I didn't even care. I was just mad because I finished my test in math, and then I saw a text from that said the cops had my phone. I'm like, great. And then Miss rings. I'm like, that's for me, I guarantee it. I'm looking at it, she looks at me, and she like go to the office. I'm like, great.
That's the break-in type stuff. What was that?
Yeah.
Okay.
What stuff?
Yeah, the church, yeah, sorry.
Did you guys go in the church? No. You just set off the alarm and saw nothing with the windows?
Yeah. Like,
Were you going to go into the church before the alarm went off?
I don't really know what we were going to do at the church. I didn't even hear the alarms go off. He's like, dude, the alarms are going off. Like, what are you talking about? And I listened and I'm like, we should probably go. And we did.
Did you feel weird going out, like, given some cars are trying to break that place, knowing what you've already been through in Margaret's house? That seems strange. Or just kind of like the thought of past that, the over, you can't change it.
Was it less of an adrenaline rush?
Yeah. Wasn't.
Was there that same adrenaline when you were on top of Margaret? Did you have the same adrenaline?
That was,
Yeah. It was a little bit different.
well, like, that, you know, and break into cars.
Yeah.
I mean, cars is like that.
Quick fix.
It's just that, you know what, when you go to open the door handle, it's like, is the alarm going to go off? Is someone going to come outside? So it's like, there's that risk. And then, the whole breaking into the house, that was the adrenaline part. I think, I don't know, I didn't even have a grip on reality whenever I did that. What do you think's even gonna happen with me?
I think you're going to go to juvenile detention. And you're going to do some time in jail.
How long do you think?
I don't know. I just don't know, Gavin. But I do know that your mom absolutely loves you, and you are a huge part of her world. And she needs you to be here.
that's what I'm most upset about.
But I want you to remember that. I don't want you to forget that, okay? You can't.
I don't, like, the only thing that's kept me going. My mom.
She seems like a pretty fantastic lady.
She is.
And she loves you more than anything, so if anybody can get you through this and get you what you need to fix whatever's going on with you, it's your mom.
But that's the thing. I don't know if this can be fixed. Because it doesn't feel like it's some regular emotion. This feels like it's natural, and I don't want it to be.
Anything can be fixed. Yeah.
I wasn't full of smoke when I told you were a nice kid. You know, you seem like a super nice kid. There's got to be something that, that's making all this happen for you, right?
Probably, but I don't know what.
So you're kind of fixing that now, don't you think?
No, that's made it a whole lot worse.
That's a big weight to be carrying around, don't you think?
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of monkey on your back that you've been carrying. And now you're not toting it anymore. Now you get to heal.
You ever told your counselor about any of the thoughts that you have?
I did a lot, and she started with trying to treat the depression first, and it wasn't working for a little bit. I still tried to kill myself, but I didn't.
Because you know it's not right.
No, I don't care what happens to me. Like, honestly, I don't. It's what happened. Like, what would it do to my mom? It, like, I killed myself with that. My mom said she couldn't go another day if I died. I'm not gonna kill myself because of that.
So it's more for her, not for you.
Yeah, I don't care about me. I don't.
You do. People care about you.
Other people might advise.
It's because you're dealing with so much, that's why you don't. Deep down, you still do. Because people that truly don't anymore, they don't want to do it. You have the heart. That's why.
The night you were out at Margaret's, had you drank or smoked anything? That night?
No, I was actually sober that night. Which is another reason why I smoke and I drink. Because I can't handle myself when I'm sober. Or I can't, like, comprehend. I don't even know the word to use. My thoughts when I'm sober are dark. When I'm high, they're like good thoughts.
Had you ever thought about harming anybody before or taking someone's life before?
Not like planning it out, but like, oh, I'm so mad I can kill someone right now. Like that kind of thing.
But you never imagined yourself actually doing it?
No, I could never vision myself.
Like, wonder what would
You did. I couldn't, like, I don't know, like some stuff you think about yourself in that situation, like, yeah, I could see that. And then, like, I think about a car crash or something, me dying in a car crash, you're like, yeah, I see that. Something else that doesn't necessarily involve me dying, or even like me being injured. Like, yeah, but I think about me being someone, I'm like, I can't see that. I can't.
Gavin maintained that he couldn't comprehend causing harm to anyone, but his actions directly contradicted his words. When he assaulted Margaret, he was sober and admitted to being unable to restrain himself once he initiated the act. This statement was further invalidated when a journal was discovered in his room, filled with daily entries that detailed fantasies about the deeds of serial killers, with a particular focus on Ted Bundy. One journal entry explicitly expressed his desire to repeatedly beat someone until they ceased to breathe and his curiosity about the sensation of standing over a lifeless body.
If she was here, what would you say to her?
Like, what do you mean?
If she was here alive in front of you, what would you say to her?
I'm sorry. That was never meant to happen. If I could take it back, I would.
This statement may lead some to believe that Gavin is experiencing remorse for his actions. However, his subsequent remarks indicate otherwise.
I'll be honest, this Saturday, like, just 5 days from now, I was gone. I'm leaving.
You're gonna run?
Because the only reason I didn't yesterday is because I knew my mom just took out my money for my insurance. And I knew my insurance doubled. So I had like no money. I just needed gas money to get somewhere. And I didn't care what happened. I don't know, I think I was headed down towards like Tennessee and keep going down through there.
You knew that this was gonna come out?
At some point. And I knew if I left, there'd be no coming back ever. And that's, I don't know, I kept having that thought every time I felt like I was ready to actually leave. I'm like, well, I literally can't ever talk to my family again if I leave.
Well, Gavin, I'm glad it's gonna stop here. I'm glad this didn't go any further. Because I don't know that you would have been able to change on your own.
No, I wouldn't. And I don't know, I had a pretty clear picture of what the next year looked like if I ran.
Unfortunately, I think you would have hurt more people. Was that in your plan?
I mean, that wasn't in my plan, but I could see that happening. But all I could see was me dead if I ran.
Think we're ready to move on here?
Yeah, can I use the restroom?
Yeah, we'll get you. I'll sure take you out. Okay. Any more of that?
What is lupus?
On January 3, 2019, Gavin Ramsey was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for the aggravated murder of Margaret Douglas. In addition to the murder charge, he received a 10-year sentence for each of the following offenses: aggravated burglary, kidnapping, and abuse of a corpse. The family of Margaret appeared to be overjoyed upon receiving the maximum justice possible for their loved one. However, just 3 years after Gavin's sentencing, a bill was introduced to the Ohio Supreme Court. This bill proposed that individuals who were tried for crimes committed under the age of 18 would become eligible for parole after serving 25 to 35 years of their original sentence. The introduction of this bill raised the possibility of a potential change in Gavin's sentence in the future.